Hey, good morning from the office. I am your host, BKP. It is Thursday, August 20th, 2020. Yes, that means that it will be over tonight. The pain, the anguish, the crying, the sadness, the disappointment in your country will be over tonight. Tonight, feeble-minded Joe Biden will come out, and they're working today on the speed of the teleprompter, and they're going to get him plenty of rest, and he's going to, pull up a fresh Depends about 9 o'clock. So if, he doesn't, you never know, he's 77. I'm not being mean. I respect my senior citizens. I respect my elders. My mom would just give me a big smack if I would. I respect them. It doesn't mean they have to be president, Now, I have been to the home and I have ran into some people that think they're president. Just saying. Oh, what a way to start out. But the Democrat National Convention of crying, moaning, and complaining will be over, and next week we will celebrate America. Republicans will celebrate America. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Oh, man. You know what? You got to get one of these, and let me say this. Prepare yourself out there. And if you run into a liberal or you run into somebody that's blah, 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 and they just won't shut up, you just got to come out with the bam, Trump 2020. Or bam. You know what? We should get these. All of us should get these. And when next week, when the Republicans have that virtual convention and we can all come together in a little box and we can cheer, we can clap the virtual applause. Oh, it's hilarious. To these empty rooms where they're following the science, and we can all come out and go just like that with our little sign, Trump 2020. So Kamala Harris said, also known as Mamala by her white stepchildren. I'm sorry. Oh, what a freak show. So Kamala Harris, aka Kamala, has now a first time. Let me ask you a question. I've said this before. Is what's more important, the first time? Can we just overlook all the wrong if it's a first time? So the first time a woman of color is on a national ticket. How exciting. And then feeble-minded Jill. Is there a walker behind the stage? Does he use a walker? I'm not going to do that for 2 hours, so don't get upset. All right, so we'll move right along. So Kamala said she can recognize, what was the quote? I know a predator when I see one. I'm telling you, that was the only thing in the speech that led me to think she's on target, is she knows a predator when she has convicted him. I mean, she has prosecuted him and I know a predator when I see one. So I'm thinking, wow, she knows. She boom. I know Joe Biden appears. Just say it. Bill Clinton. Now, I want to say this to get it over with at 8:04 in the morning. Done, finished, kaput, out of the way. I know you're angry out there over Barack Hussein Obama's speech. I have watched, and that's a good part of life I cannot get back. I have watched every moment of this convention. Yes, every moment I watched. I watched all 2 hours last night, Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, Monday night. I watched every bit of it up to 11:30 or midnight. So it's very easy to see. Why, don't get mad, the American people voted for Barack Hussein Obama. Now, the first time against John McCain. So it's interesting. They kicked John McCain's ass, Obama and the Democrats, but then the ghost of John McCain came back to the DNC several years later to kiss the DNC's ass. Okay. Yeah. Cindy McCain and Megan and friends, the McCains came back to kiss the Democrats' ass after they had kicked his ass early on. So I understand. I do. I'm going to tell you, get this out of the way. I understand why America in 2009 voted for Barack Hussein Obama over John McCain. I get it. Like it or not, I get it. I know the Republican. Now, the only reason, I say the only reason, but the big reason why Barack Hussein Obama got a second term is we offered up, Mitt Romney. Okay. So there would not have been, but, it would alter time. It wouldn't have been Donald J. Trump's time, right? So it would have altered everything. You can't go back. It's like, you can't make that one move and Back to the Future or you'll alter history, right? But the only reason Obama has a second term from the voters is, my opinion, Mitt Romney. We offered up Mitt Romney as a candidate and, whatever. So, but the first term, okay, last night reminded me why the American people in the first time voted for him. You don't have to like the guy. I know what he said. I can read the tea leaves, but he gave for the moment and what the Democrats are trying to accomplish. The Democrats, he actually gave a very good speech. Now that you're all mad and you're throwing things at the TV, I have no way whatsoever gotten into. I'm going to get serious here. Okay. I believe the media, I tell you every day, I believe the media has done a full setup for Obama's speech last night. There's no way Obama knew to talk about conspiracy. If you will look at the last couple weeks, okay, and the events that have taken place, if you will look at just the last couple months, now you can call me. Oh, by the way, we're playing a drinking game. Okay. Yes, I know it's early in the morning and, and I would prefer you actually just have coffee. But here's our drinking game this morning. Every time you hear me say, give me number 27. Every time you hear me say, Q, I want you to take a drink. QAnon or Q. Get it ready. Get your drink on. Now, I would suggest Q. Just drink coffee. But if you're an early morning drinker or an all-out drunk, I'm sorry. I can't help that. I'm just saying, You act like, oh my God, there's not a drunk in the world, and you just encourage people to be just saying, get off my damn back. But every time I say Q or QAnon, you take a drink, okay? You'll be drunk well before 10 o'clock if you're using the hard stuff. That being said, I listened to the speech last night, and I know you. I'm different. This is going to be a fun show. But I'm breaking down what Big O is saying, and I'm breaking it down, and I'm listening. And I'm thinking it's almost like the events. Is he giving a speech based on the events? Or has the events set up in advance of the speech? Did the Democrat convention, now I know conspiracy theory, right? Love it, right? But I'm listening to Obama last night and I'm thinking, how did everything get timed and orchestrated right in place for you? How did QAnon? It's never been about, and I'll do this segment in a minute because I don't want to roll this out before. I don't want to go too far with this, but you remember this lady here, number 36, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all right? She won the 14th district over there in Georgia. She's the Republican candidate for Congress in the 14th district of Georgia. And see the headlines, remember the headlines? And they've gone nuts. The QAnon supporter, conspiracy theory. called Nancy Pelosi a bitch. I'm going to kick the bitch right out. I'm just saying. I didn't say it. She did. So it's never been about Marjorie. No. It's always been about Trump. And I find it yesterday, the questions concerning QAnon, Q, take 3 drinks. I find it interesting, the questions concerning QAnon. Now, the other day, the press, after Marjorie won, tried to press Trump on QAnon, right? And as they say, he dodged the question. So it's almost like they went back to their little deep state media press cave where they all gather up and say, what do we do now? What do we do now? He didn't bite. He didn't take the bait. Well, Obama's speech is Wednesday night. So we got till Wednesday to try to make this happen. So his speech will fit right in with what Trump says. Interesting, right? I'm serious. You can call me anything you want. I listened to Trump yesterday at the press conference. I watched it, okay? Somebody says in the living room, just saying, that we have to watch the news. Yes, we have to watch it. The president's coming on. So I watch the president every afternoon. All right. So I listen to the question. I listen to all the questions. And then I listen to the speech. I laid the speech over the question. I said, I'll be damned. I'll be damned if that question about QAnon didn't kindly double up on top of Obama's speech. Now, how did Obama know that Trump was going to get that question, answer that question? Because it's never been about Marjorie Greene. Let me give you a little hint here. We're going to do a segment on QAnon. Yes, we are. I'm not going to get into the depth of what they do and what they say, and we don't have time for that. You can actually study that. Be careful, because if you Google it, then you have a data path that shows up in your history that you Googled QAnon. That would be Q, capital A-N-O-N, if you want to. So, and I tell you, when we post this, watch if YouTube doesn't clip it or turn it dark or something. So give me number 37, all right? Here are QAnon supporters running for Congress in 2020. We will show you that. Because I'm going to do a segment on what are they so afraid of. Now, wait a minute. Biden is, according, their samples, their polling samples that they're doing. What are they afraid of? Because their polling samples across this country has Georgia and a toss-up. Their polling samples have Texas just leaning Republican. Okay? Their polling samples on, I've showed you this over and over on this show. If you're new, we do this every day. I lay out the fact. All right, YouGov, CBS YouGov electoral map shows Biden as their prediction with a landslide. What's all the uproar about mail-in ballots? Why now? Why are you so concerned? You've got this. According to them, they have it in the bag. Why the uproar? Why the executive order in New Jersey to try to turn the whole state into New Jersey into by this putz of a governor to turn the whole state into a mirror corrupt election like Patterson? Why? This is a blue state, right? Do you realize the executive order in New Jersey? Now think about this, folks. That was just signed by the putz of a governor. We'll do putz of a governor in a minute. But what are they afraid of? Would make your in person, okay? Vote a provisional. So if you vote by mail, you'll have the respect of a vote. But if you go and you push the button in person, it will be considered a provisional ballot. Yes. Why do they want you to chase a damn mail truck down the road? It's a mail truck. Hurry, I haven't put my ballot. Why? All right. That being said, we're going to move on. Now, out of all the things last night, I sent you a video, and I want this as a separate clip when we're ready, okay? You can have my opening there that I did, but I sent you a video and I want it started at, I have it set to start at, I think, 29 minutes, or what do I have that at set at? 29:47. Get that ready. So last night, and there's one part that they slip in. Now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get a new segment going. Boom. I want to do this little quick segment on climate change. So last night, the Democrat National Convention, they did their "We Will Take Your Gun" segment. Yes, they did, and gun violence and everything. They have totally bypassed. Now they're going to build back better, but where are they going to build back better? Are they going to build back better in the inner cities that are burnt down, the looting, the whole nine? Where are they going to build back better? So they've glossed over that. I mean, they can't tell you they're going to fix this disaster of the inner cities, because if they tell you they're going to fix that, they got to scratch their head and say, oh, wait a minute. That's us. We're the Democrat-controlled cities. So in none of the nights have they done any we are going to build back better, or we're going to fix this. But they're going to be able to create calm. They will call everything off if you vote their way. It's the blackmail convention. And that being said, they did a segment on small businesses. They went and found the businesses that they just can't trust Donald Trump anymore. They're going broke. They're locking their doors. But I'm going to show you the real thing that's going to lock your door, small business. Ready? I'm going to show you the real thing. I'm going to show you what I have told you about in the past. Remember, it seems like it was just yesterday. Last night, Barack Hussein Obama and Joe Biden and all of their friends, okay, their creepy little friends, they reminded me last night the good old days. Remember the good old days? New green jobs. Remember those? Remember solar panel subsidies? Remember that? Remember putting people back to work on windmills? Remember that? Solar farms. Energy, your energy company giving you a big discount if you upgraded. Remember, see, damn it, you don't listen. And I know I just made some people mad, but when I say you, they get on there and yell. There was a lady, a Democrat last night. Holy mackerel, Batman. This lady, Democrat last night. So Hillary came up and gave her shoulda, coulda, woulda speech. And I don't know what she meant by shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda killed Bill when they had a chance. Shoulda. Coulda killed him several times when he wasn't looking. Shoulda. Coulda. Would be out of jail by now if I'd have done it 20 years ago. So Hillary Clinton gave her shoulda, coulda, woulda speech, and it was Girl Power Night. And this Democrat lady put a picture of Hillary on the clean screen on Facebook. Thank you, Hillary, because I'm scanning all the whack jobs that are right. I'm sorry. I'm going to be nice today. I'm scanning everybody and saying, oh, look at this lady. And I'm watching the convention. And then Kamala comes up, right? Oh, thank you, Kamala. And Nancy Pelosi gives her, oh, thank you, Nancy. All right. I told you this was going to happen because let me tell you something. The government, it seems like just yesterday, the government offered you all kinds of deals and cuts in your energy cost if you did certain things in your home. It seems like it was just yesterday. Tell me if you could go to the damn store and figure out which damn light bulb to buy. Now, you can call me a dumbass if you want, but I used to just go, hey, give me a 100-watt bulb, boom, boom, boom. And I wasn't saving electricity. I was one of those. I should be doing one of the commercial. I was one of those. I was not saving electricity. I was just buying. I had a full-strength shower head When I flushed my commode, it went whoosh, boom, it was gone. And I was screwing in 100-watt bulbs like there was no tomorrow, right? And I found help, and you can too. Oh, I crack myself up. Oh, I do. Oh, damn it, I do. Let's see. Did I have that upside down? I knew I did. Anyhow. So you remember the good old days with the windmills, solar, and you did all this stuff, and they would give you these credits and those major comeback jobs that we brought to America? No, we brought all that stuff from China because we cannot build it here, right? What is that one solar panel company that Obama that got us for big money out there in California? But anyhow, so I tell you this on the show, you got to pay attention to the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal, they were setting you up several years ago. You know, you got your halogen lights in the house. Cool. Okay. You got your little twisty lights. We switched that from the LEDs, right? We said, cool. All right. We've made major changes and now we're so energy efficient. Cool. So if you want to know what's about to happen, okay, you can't afford it. It will happen. And they will offer you a government second mortgage. And laugh at me if you want. Play this video, and I'm going to pick out the little underlying part that's getting ready to hit America if you decide Joe and Kamala is the future of this country. Play the tape.
I'm a kid, and I'm going to say to all those adults who are watching this right now, why don't you get up and do something?
Some of the first climate change legislation ever written was by a senator from Delaware.
When Donald Trump thinks about climate change, the only word he can muster is hoax.
America faces a challenge, but if we face it together, we will rise to the occasion and build back better.
When I think about climate change, the word I think of is jobs.
That's Joe's plan: create millions of new good-paying jobs. Many of them union, like mine. Invest in critical infrastructure. Upgrade millions of buildings. Invest in micro-mobility and precision agriculture. A clean energy future that achieves net zero emissions by 2050. Because we can't power the economies of the future without investing in the technologies of the future.
I think what's really important about Joe Biden's plan is that 40% of the investment will go to vulnerable communities.
We know how to do this. And we'll do it again, but this time bigger and faster and smarter.
Joe won't ignore the crisis. We're seeing what happens when we do that. He won't surrender to the fight. Joe's America will lead the world on clean energy. We'll lead on job creation. And America will lead the world again on climate.
America will lead. Hey, Emily, I made a switch while we're on that. Do me a favor. I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to come all the way back up. Test, 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 test. Am I still coming through the mic? If I'm still coming through the mic properly, because I did hit a button, please let me know immediately if I'm coming through the mic properly. Okay, thank you, Emily. Now, here's the thing, okay? All right. This is the takeaway. I listen to words. And I know if you're new to the show, I study everything they say, and I pick up the underlying meanings, the innuendos, what they're slipping in, that they're smooth about. There's something, remember where we before we went to the video, that part, okay? Now, some people are focusing on Hillary. I don't give a rat's ass about Hillary, okay? Some people focusing on Kamala Harris, and her ability to spot a predator, her running mate, Joe Biden. I don't give a rat's ass about Kamala Harris, okay? And some people are focusing on Obama and how awesome. They're swooning. And I will show you this morning, oh, they're just swooning and they're going like this. I don't give a rat's ass about Obama. I care about the facts of what's about to happen to you in this country if you pick this disaster to be the next presidential team, okay? Because we know Joe will not be president. So that being said, jobs. Now, before I played that, remember I set it up, right? Remember the good old days? It seems like it was just 2010 when Obama started chipping away at the Green New Deal, Okay. You had to have a low flow shower head. You have cities that, it takes forever to get your ass wet in the shower because it trickles out, low flow. I mean, you got to flush 3 times. Just saying, might be a little personal. QAnon, take a drink. So anyhow, and you have the energy upgrades in your home. That being said, ready? Okay. We know how to do this. Biden said, we know how to do this. You know why he said that? I just told you. They did it. They started it. They peeled back the Green New Deal in their first administration. They started working on it. They started killing birds with their ultra fans outside their windmills, okay? Their solar farms. All right? We will do it again. They will. Take him at his word. We know how to do this. We will do it again. Now, the scariest part of well, there's so much in the Green New Deal. The fact that a cow can't fart, can't butcher a cow, can't land on the table as a hamburger scares the hell out of me. Okay? Just does. All right? I'd be real concerned if hamburgers go away. The fact that I, can't get on a jet airliner, big old jet airliner, okay, scares the hell out of me. Whatever. Upgrade millions of buildings. That was a subtle laid in there. That was in there for a reason. Upgrade millions of buildings. So if you are afraid, small business owner, that you cannot, if you did not realize that your Democratic governors and the orchestrated Democratic collapse of our economy is the reason why your small business is failing today, and it was doing very well. Last night, they forgot to edit out the black woman in LA or whatever, okay, that, they forgot to edit out the black woman in LA, that it's just a couple months ago, the store was packed. Oh, Trump was president. They forgot to edit out last night that the lady that owned the 2 restaurants out in California said, just seems like a couple months ago, they were waiting outside to get in. We were shoulder to shoulder. Trump was president. They forgot that part to edit that out. But I tell you what they didn't edit out. Upgrade millions of buildings. They will come to your house and they will ring your doorbell if you have one, okay? And they will have a clipboard. It'll be electronic, and they'll say, we're here to do your free evaluation of upgrading your existing home here to make it compliant with government energy compliant government for the government, right? You're like, what? So they will nicely try to ask to come in to do the inspection. Then they will, and you don't believe me, damn it, you just wait. See what happens. Then they will say, okay, you say, you're not coming in my damn house. You're not, get the hell off my property. Well, because they'll be taught. These government people that come to your house will be taught, okay? Now, you're going to say, Q, you're going to say, I'm real conspiracy theory right now. But they will be taught because I have read some charters, all right? Now, there are cities in America, small cities. There are large cities in America that already have a, dilapidated or crumbling homes. What's the word I'm looking for? But move right along, okay? All right. So if your home or your building does not meet these requirements, a city can ask to come in and condemn your property, okay? They can ask you nicely to come in. It's already in many charters across this country. Or they can go back and go to a magistrate and ask for a search warrant to come in based on their charter to just check to see if your electrical's compliant. I don't believe a damn word you're saying. Well, that's your problem. But it's true, folks, okay? That can happen. I've seen it. So what happens is you're going to have a government, Now, Emily, could you put that right back where it was? Because it's after my little rant here. We're going to have to play that again before we go to commercial. I want to play it one more time to add into the clip. So now people will watch last night and have maybe a better understanding. So you come to the house, boom. You don't let them in. They're taught to be nice. We are here. The government has an awesome program to upgrade your home. It's going to save you thousands. Okay. Well, then they come back and want in your home. Are you ready for this, America? And then they give you, well, here we go. We have looked and you're losing this many watts here, and you're losing, we did an infrared ray on your outside wall of your house. And here is a picture of how much you're losing here in the ceiling. Oh yeah, you could do a hot box now. I know how to do it. I used to be in the business where you can go in and hot box a house and see where the loss is. Here is your problems as far as upgrading in your crawl space. You will need to do a sealed crawl. I know this house was built in the 70s, but it's not sealed. You don't have a sealed area down there. You'll have to seal your. And here are the certified contractors, because they're going to put Americans back to work. So you're a certified government contractor. You can wheel in and make all these upgrades, and you can sign off to the government they're done. And it's only going to cost $12,000, or it's only going to cost $18,000, or it's going to happen. What about your business that you're in an old building? Your business upgrades, commercial. Do you know how many commercials are not buildings are not built to green standards? Yes. Green standards. That's been in place for years. They will collapse this country with government control, with the Green New Deal. If you think your small business can't make it, you wait till your landlord says, hey, the government just came in and said, I got to do $12,000 worth of upgrades. I'm going to have to up your rent $700 a month. What the hell? I'm only making bagels over here. How the hell am I going to get $7? Right? And then you come in and you say to the bagel guy, I come in, I get $1 for a bagel and 50 cents for a schmear, and now it's $3.25. What the hell? Just wait. Play that clip one more time. We will stop it where I want, come back and go to break.
I'm a kid, and I'm going to say to all those adults who are watching this right now, why don't you get up and do something?
Some of the first climate change legislation ever written was by a senator from Delaware.
When Donald Trump thinks about climate change, the only word he can muster is hoax.
America faces a challenge, but if we face it together, we will rise to the occasion and build back better.
When I think about climate change, the word I think of is jobs.
That's Joe's plan. Create millions of new good-paying jobs, many of them union, like mine. Invest in critical infrastructure. Upgrade millions of buildings. Invest in micro-mobility and precision agriculture. A clean energy future that achieves net zero emissions by 2050. Because we can't power the economies of the future without investing in the technologies of the future.
I think what's really important about Joe Biden's plan is that 40% of the investment will go to vulnerable communities.
We know how to do this. And we'll do it again, but this time bigger and faster and smarter.
Joe won't ignore the crisis. We're seeing what happens when we do that. He won't surrender to the fight. Joe's America will lead the world on clean energy. We'll lead on job creation. And America will lead the world again on climate.
Nothing scares me any more than hearing the damn government say they're going to create jobs. That scares the hell out of me. And right there, they're ready to create the jobs, right? They're going to create the government jobs. Bigger, faster, and smarter, we will do this. I'm telling you right now, if you don't pick up on what's happening here, and you don't get out and talk to your neighbors and talk to your friends, I don't give a damn. I done told you, I don't give a damn what Hillary said last night. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I don't give a damn, all right? I don't give a damn what Kamala Harris said. I know she could spot a predator a mile away, so she's seen Joe Biden from all the way across the stage. Wasn't that just like a joke? I mean, they stood on two ends of the stage and waved to each other. What the hell's like Joe's in the home and she's knocking on the window at her to say hello to her grandpa. Feeble-minded Joe. I don't give a damn what she said. I don't give a damn what Nancy Pelosi said. They honored Nancy Pelosi for tearing up the State of the Union speech. This right here, what I played this morning, you need to pay attention to it. Okay? We come back. We'll let you have a couple more drinks. We'll do a little bit on QAnon. How about it? Let's do it. I'm your host, BKP. Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hey, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, this Democratic National Convention, it's so hard to describe. It's so sad. It's like 1 minute you think you're watching American Idol because they want you to text vote. So it's like everybody that comes on ends by, okay, if you like my performance, text vote now. And I will say this, it's like there's a part of, it's like American Idol. Then there's another part, it's like a Jerry Lewis telethon. I know I got in trouble there. How do you do that? That just wasn't nice. All right. But it is, it's like you have a moderator, and let's hear from our next saddest victim in the world. Let's tell this story, this little child's story. Now, it's going to be about climate change, or it's going to be about, sitting in the house and getting hit by a stray bullet. And, if gun violence, there's a sad little story where the kid can't go to school. So it's like the Jerry Lewis telethon. You have a moderator and say, and if you don't believe how sad it is out there, listen to this story here. And then they go, and then they have singers. And the singers are singing sad stories, very dark, sad stories, okay? And I don't know these people because I don't listen to them. So it's just been, to me, it's been an absolute disaster. Now, and then you have the age of the internet where you can YouTube it, right? So if you just want to watch Hillary tomorrow and you're a Hillary supporter and you've got your little genitalia-shaped hat on and you want to watch Hillary because you were at the march, and you could tell your grandchildren how you were there to support LGBTQ, rights. You could go to YouTube. Now, before the conventions have had an energy, political parties set up the energy in the room to keep a flow, to where when they come out of the convention, right? When they come out of the convention, they have to, they have a bump. There's an excitement. Now balloons, an empty stage, Obama, all of them acting like they're following the science and distancing themselves from each other. Kamala Harris and her husband, the white guy, standing over here on the stage, and feeble-minded Joe and his wife, and standing on this side and waving to each other. It's mentally messed up, man. It really is. It's like, it's the weirdest damn thing in the world. I mean, come together, hug each other, all four of you. You've been tested for COVID. Now, these people, I think, are they already getting Secret Service? I mean, he is former vice president, but are they already got security detail? Okay. I wish we were like the big guys, November 3rd. I watched I see the clock, like, 2 hours, 18 minutes and 33 seconds before the DNC starts. But I wish we had like the big guys, a running time clock until election day in November. Oh, wait a minute. You got it. Really? Way to go. Look at that. There it is on the screen. Let me watch. I get mesmerized. It's the little things that excite me. I want to watch it. Bam. Emily, way to go. There you go. That's the actual time till election day. Our countdown clock. Okay, keep that available for every single day. Don't lose that. So there you go. Now, what is it about? When do they start sharing national security things? They brief the candidates on things, right? So anyhow, you're supposed to come. You can go ahead and take that down. That's actually, that's like squirrel to me. I look over. Thank you. We'll put that back up in a little bit. Change the time. All right. That's how long you have until election day to get the job done. But what I'm saying is they're supposed to come out of the convention with a bump, the excitement, the balloons, everybody. And you're supposed to have the moderators up there. Can you feel the excitement in the room, Joe? I certainly can. This crowd is excited. They are ready to get out in the morning, go back home. And what will they be doing? They're going home. This crowd right here, energized. They're going home in the morning. They're going to go back to their local towns. They're going to go back to their counties. And they're going to go back to their areas. And they're going to be all fired up. And they're going to call all their friends and say, we got to get this guy elected. It was amazing. And they're going to have post-convention excitement and energy ready to go. They take that home, Phil. Yes, and what do? Oh, they will have the signs and everything. I mean, now what happens is we understand Kamala and Joe are leaving the stage, and they are getting on the big Biden Build It Back Better, BBB tour, and they will be crisscrossing barnstorming. Remember barnstorming? They will be barnstorming the nation, and they will be going to farms and small businesses and everything across this country to get their message out, how they plan to build it back better. None of that's going to happen. Their ratings are in the crapper. There's no barnstorming bus tour ready to go. There's no flying in and doing 5. So who does this hurt? I don't know. But there's no 5, 6 events a day. Nothing. They wave across the stage. Crazy as hell. Americans are not going to fall for this. So tonight, Joe will accept the nomination. And it will begin. So what are they so afraid of? So let's start a new segment. Let's get our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if this is where I'm not advocating drinking, but if you're a morning alcoholic, I'm sorry. When I think I shouldn't say something, I probably should hold it back. If you enjoy a drink in the morning, let's just put it like that. Maybe you work all night and you got them mixed up and it's drinking time for you, whatever. Every time I say Q. Now, remember a couple weeks ago, and let me start with this QAnon segment. And there's a reason. Because last night when I watched Obama, if you will pay attention to it, it's almost like the country's events were rolling along and put in place for his speech last night. So you have two choices. Are many of the events that happened in this country were like reporters, maybe not told about Obama's speech, but had it laid out in advance so he could work everything in to the events that are happening? And you're going to say, well, that's a little too conspiracy theory for me. You're just reaching there. Well, you know what? I lead the league in going out on a limb, and today's one of them. Because last night, when I listened to Big O's speech, and I saw them big damn Dumbo ears sticking out there, he's gray-headed now, and Michelle was nowhere to be found, and he was this smooth Joe Cool there. All right. Fresh pack of cigs, Newports in his pocket. I said, wait a minute. How could the events be laid out so nicely for him to give this a speech? So yesterday, and let's go with this because, wait, let me show you this picture first. Now this lady, okay, when she was running in the primary, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and give me number 36. I just cropped. If you Google Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is immediately what starts happening. NPR, QAnon supporter who made bigoted videos wins Georgia primary, likely headed to Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene, a QAnon supporter, this is the New York Times, wins House. GOP candidate who embraced QAnon conspiracy theory wins Georgia runoff. Now, when there was 9 candidates in the 14th congressional district race, Republican primary, this was not the headlines. It was only when Marjorie Taylor Greene won did she fit into the slot that would make it all the way to Barack Obama's speech last night? Now, if you ask, did he mention Marjorie Taylor Greene in the speech last night? No, he did not. But if you listen to the speech right here, so the day, the primary, now it comes down to John Cowan, okay, and Marjorie Taylor Greene in a runoff. But John Cowan, I don't dislike Dr. Cowan, but establishment Republican, got all the establishment support. They got money, establishment. We got to get rid of. Now, they went after this lady. Now, the night she won, you know, I understand she didn't let Greg Bluestein in from the AJC. Now, the governor, no, I'm not going to say that. Some in the state kissed Greg's ass. I didn't say anything. Some do. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but when you get invited to an open press conference via phone of the governor, and a person calls and says, we want you on that call, right? And you go on it, all right? Little side note here. And then if you've ever been on one of these phone press conferences, they give their statement. And after their statement, a person comes on and says, now, if you would like to ask a question, I was like fast as fingers. If you would like to ask a question, push *1. Bam, *1. I mean, I know I beat everybody. I know I did. Bam, *1. I'm in, right? I know I'm in. And then they start picking our next question. So I figure they're picking the questions out of the queue, right? *1. Who gets the first question? Greg Bluestein, the AJC. Okay, well, I expected that, right? And he asked a really corny-ass question to the governor of the state of Georgia. And then they started picking other questions. This is the other day. I'm going to get back to what I'm saying. This just ticks me off. It still does. So anyhow, they start picking other questions. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm not in the queue. You know, I'm going to come up. And so the guy says, all right, we have time for one more question. And I figured that would happen. So I'm thinking, you know what, if he says the next question from the Valdosta Times, the LaGrange Free Citizen, the Savannah Daily News, whatever, I would say, I didn't make it. So they gave the big thing. This is our last call. I mean, this is our last question. And our next question comes from Greg Bluestein at the AJC. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, I'm in the queue. Boom, boom. I know I'm there. Now, maybe the governor can see the names and the organization you're with because you have to give that. And he says, hell no, I'm not talking to that. You know, maybe I've said a couple things where the governor doesn't like. So getting back to, so Greg Bluestein goes over to Marjorie Greene's and, you know, she throws him out, doesn't let him in. But this is the headline. The next morning after the win, you see it on the screen, QAnon, QAnon, QAnon. I'm here to tell you it was never about Marjorie Greene. No, 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 no. It's never about it. This was all laid out. It's a methodical attack, all right? Because we have to ask ourselves, what are Democrats afraid of? Mail-in ballots? Okay. You would think common sense says if you would just go vote, you're going to win because you're the one putting out the polling data that says Trump doesn't stand a chance. So why are you so upset? Because I will tell you, people are not in fear of going and voting like you think they are. It was never about Marjorie Greene. I'll tell you what it was about in a minute. Yesterday, the other day, they asked the president about QAnon. And he just like, damn it, I don't want to hear it. Okay. And it's like yesterday, I told you starting the show, it's almost like the reporter yesterday, the deal is if we don't get Trump on record of QAnon today, it will not go well tonight for Obama because he is going to talk about conspiracy theories. He's going to talk about Trump not being a grown-up and falling for stuff and all this and that. I need this. So yesterday they go back to the QAnon with the president. There's 2 parts. We'll play part 1. We'll come back and then we'll play part 2. So get me part 1 up, ready to go, Emily. Let's do this.
During the pandemic, the QAnon movement appears to be gaining a lot of followers. Can you talk about what you think about that and what you have to say to people who are following this movement right now?
Well, I don't know much about the movement other than I understand they like me very much, which I appreciate. But I don't know much about the movement. I have heard that it is gaining in popularity, and from what I hear, these are people that when they watch the streets of Portland, when they watch what happened in New York City in just the last 6 or 7 months, but this was starting even 4 years ago when I came here, almost 4 years, can you believe it? These are people that don't like seeing what's going on in places like Portland and places like Chicago and New York and other cities and states. And I've heard these are people that love our country and they just don't like seeing it. So I don't know really anything about it other than they do supposedly like me, and they also would like to see problems in these areas, like especially the areas that we're talking about, go away, because there's no reason the Democrats can't run a city. And if they can't, we will send in all of the federal, whether it's troops or law enforcement, whatever they'd like, we'll send them in, we'll straighten out their problem in 24 hours or less, okay?
All right, now we're going to give you part 2 in just a minute. Get that ready, Emily. I'll let you know when it's ready to go. Appears to be getting a lot of followers. Now, the Democrats have to take their chances, all right? And that is, I tell you before, Joe Biden staying in the basement is so you do not get exposed to his feeble-minded. Now, you can go through and find, the best of Joe Biden, give the one that just people are watching over and over is when Joe talks about being a lifeguard and, the kids get in the pool and rub on his legs. And then he had to tell Corn Pop, and him and Corn Pop had a face-to-face. That's one of an all-time favorite, okay? We know that every time Joe gets out there a little too long, remember last night, if you didn't watch, they did a segment on how diverse the black population is in this country that come from so many different areas, because it was only like 2 years ago, unlike the black community, Latinos are very diverse. So they're always covering for Joe's feeble-minded comments that he makes. If you need to check your blackness at the door, Jack. You need to check. If you don't vote for me, if you vote for Donald Trump, you need to check your blackness. They don't know feeble-minded Joe. They can't have him out. So they have decided to torpedo. And this is another thing you got to remember. When you talk to people, you got to make them think, not argue whether, I'm going to tell you, many of you know me, and you know where I stand with Attorney General Bob Barr, and you know where I stand on the Russian collusion delusion, and I understand one pled guilty, ex-FBI lawyer pled guilty to altering the email for the FISA warrant. We know all that, right? But if we showed you a minute ago, you only have X amount of time between now and election day or early voting or when they plan to steal the election. So if you go to all your friends and neighbors, okay, and you start talking about, William Barr, and it's going to set their ass off because they think he's in on it with Trump, and you try to convince with your swooning of facts and everything of why William Barr is rule of law and everything, you're going to lose them. Don't take that wrong. You're going to lose them. But if you will set up a very simple game plan, and I say this, to where you ask people, look, all right, Joe says follow the science. Okay, well, let's follow the science. Joe is tested daily. He's tested daily for COVID. He is. He's tested. Kamala is tested. The president is tested. The people that surround them are tested. There are ways that they can work on things to get Joe out and get him out and about. Now, if you look at the hardest Democrat friend you have and you say, you put a mask on, good. I don't, you do. But you put a mask on, get in your car, and you go out to the grocery store and you buy groceries and you come home and you've done it for 6 months and you've been safe. You going to tell me that Joe Biden can't come out, separate the chairs in a big room, and just have an open press conference and let reporters really ask questions? That's the kind of convincing you need to do. You need to say there's something bad wrong, okay? Now, if that's your candidate, it is, but there's something bad wrong. Because what Joe has done, and let me tell you the chance they've taken, we'll get back to QAnon. What Joe has done is nosedive, caused the entire down the ballot. When they talk about voting down the ballot, there's a nosedive because the 9th Congressional District of Georgia, I get an email, meet and greet the candidate tonight. Here, sign up for your Zoom code. No, I want to go. I went to Pickens County Republican Party, and people think I risk my life. I'm going to say 50 people. I don't know. 50? We'll go with that. All right. But 50 people Tuesday night at the Republican Party in Pickens County in a room. 2 people had a mask on. We rolled the dice, risked our life. I don't know if somebody has COVID in that room or not. I'm not going to be flip about the virus and say it was a chance I was willing to take. But if we can go through our everyday life with some modest changes, Joe Biden can, and your candidates, they won't speak to you, right? So this is the QAnon is a setup. The other thing is, appears to have caught a lot of followers. The other risk that Democrats have taken with Joe in the basement and trying to make everything, everybody stay home and collapse the economy, it was a toss-up. Collapse the economy, everybody stay home, and just risk what they're finding on the internet won't hurt too bad. But see, people are home all day. A lot of people are. A lot of people laid off, and they're not finding all the bad things about Donald Trump. They have time to read what you, the media, call conspiracy theory. They have time to read some things, and they're looking stuff up. Appears to have be getting a lot of followers. They like me very much. They were waiting for Trump to say, they're crazy ass wackos. They're wearing the tinfoil hat, the aluminum foil hat, and they're at home on a computer. He didn't say that. They seem to like me very much. Yes, they're gaining in popularity. Just seem like people who love their country. Oh my God, you didn't say people who love their country. Let's play part 2 of that clip.
At the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind?
Well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there. And we are, actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country. And when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country. And when you look at some of the things that these people are saying with defund the police and no borders, open borders, everybody just pour right into our country. No testing, no nothing. You talk about testing, no testing. Mexico, as you know, has a very high rate of infection. The wall is now going to be next week 300 miles long. Our numbers are extraordinary on the border. And this is through luck, perhaps, more than talent, although the talent is getting it built when one party refuses to allow it. You don't hear talk about the wall anymore. But I will say this. We need strength in our country, not weakness. Too much weakness. Yes, John.
What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? They say you are secretly saving the world. Oh no, is that a bad thing? From pedophiles. Pedophiles, you're saving the world. I don't know, is that a bad thing? If I can help save the world, hey, if I can help, count me in. Why are they so concerned, right? Why are they so concerned? I will show you why. Number 28, I will tell you, it's the pedophiles, it's the piece of garbage sickos out there, and they're high up in the government, and they're in fear. They cannot risk Trump 2.0. They can't live with that, folks, because I'm going to tell you. So you can call me what you want. Give me number 28 on the screen. Is it on this? There you go. If you just type in QAnon this morning, Facebook removed 790 QAnon groups to fight conspiracy theory. Did they remove 790 conspiracy groups because they're popular? Did they remove 790 conspiracy groups, QAnon, because you're at home reading them now? You don't have the freedom to do what the hell you want. We're going to be quarantined, all right. We're going to be QAnon quarantined. Round us up and put us in cages. Now, I read everything out there so I can stay in touch with what's happening. So they could call me anything they want this morning. Now, there you got The Guardian. Facebook restricts more than 10,000 QAnon and U.S. militant groups. Why? Because Democratic communist governors, because the people that shut this country down, that sent everybody into a bunker at home, they're on the internet and they're actually reading, and they may not blame Trump for everything, and they may feel, hey, there's something more to this, not just QAnon, but to like Obama's speech being all set up last night. And then you have the Associated Press. Trump praises QAnon conspiracist, appreciates support. Last I heard, they just, love the country. I don't see them as bad people. They go to work and they love the country. That's what I see. Now, what are they in fear of? And that's what I want to know. That's what I'm asking, because Democrats have, according to their polling samples, double-digit leads. Why Trump, according to the media and the propaganda out there, Trump should just quit now. Biden's so far ahead. Number 37. And I'm going to end this because I've got another segment I want to do, because I'm looking at what are they so afraid of is my question. Okay. And as you can see here, now this came out. This came out in January. This was in January, okay? Now, not all of these candidates made it, but this came out January 7th, 2020, Alex Kaplan, and it is, here are the QAnon supporters running for Congress in 2020, okay? A QAnon conspiracy theory is rooted in the Chan message boards. Here are 76 current or former congressional candidates who embrace it, okay? And it says, currently among these candidates, like I said, now not all made it past the primaries, but currently among these candidates this year who have endorsed or given credence to the conspiracy theory or promoted QAnon content, 20 candidates, 19 Republicans, 1 independent, have already secured a spot on the ballot in November. Yes, this is never about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene fit a part. They have to try to take down QAnon. They have to consider it as a tinfoil hat religion and a conspiracy theory that they have to stop. They have to paint it a wacko thing because it's growing in popularity and people are reading it. So 20 candidates, 19 Republicans have already secured a spot on the ballot in November's Remember, November's general election by competing in primary elections by fulfilling other requirements needed to get on the ballot. Of the 20 candidates, 5 are from California. Starting to see what they may be in fear of. 3 are from Georgia, two each from Illinois and Arizona. And here's one, because this will double down into our second story that we're going to work on. And there is 1 each in Colorado, Florida, Nevada, Hawaii, New Jersey, Oregon, Ohio, and Texas. 1 candidate in New York is running as a Republican write-in November's general election. 1 candidate in Louisiana is running in the state's nonpartisan blanket primary in November. In total, 71 candidates are Republican, 2 are Democrats, 1 is Libertarian, and the other 2 independents. Below are the 2020 congressional candidates who have endorsed or given credence to the conspiracy theory, and it starts down there. Josh Barnett from Arizona, Joyce Bentley from Nevada, Lauren Boebert from Colorado, Mike Cargill from California, Eric Cruz from California, and it goes on. Derek Grayson from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia. So anyhow, the list goes on. Every one of them's listed. If you want to find this, the article is, and I have it on the screen there. It's Media Matters for America. It's Media Matters. Here are the QAnon supporters running for Congress in 2020. Everything was set up for Obama last night, and that's the one takeaway. Okay, you can call me whatever you want, but if you'll go back today and play Obama's speech, or if you didn't listen to it last night, he laid everything out methodically with our events that are happening in our country today. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? Just saying. Because Obama seemed like and it was almost like, my last major part is the conspiracies that Donald Trump buys into. He sits at home, watches TV, he's into these conspiracies. If you don't land the QAnon question, and he doesn't fawn all over, hey, is that a bad thing if I save the world? I hear that people just love the country. Put those two together. What are Democrats afraid of? Why the fear? This is not campaigning. This is total fear and what they're trying to do. When we come back, I'm going to take a brief break. When we come back, let's talk about New Jersey. Why New Jersey? Isn't that a blue state? Isn't it a given? Wouldn't you just close your eyes if Obama, it borders down there, Delaware, and, isn't it like a neighbor that you just close your eyes, got Democrat governor? What's the fear in New Jersey but fear itself of Donald Trump winning the state? Take a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, 1 nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
If you want big Chevy discounts, Days Chevrolet in Jasper gets it done with savings of $8,000 on new Chevy Equinox or up to $10,000 savings off new Silverado crew cabs. We're big on discounts and even bigger on customer service. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Find new roads.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. For those that are not falling over, pretty wiped out, I won't play any more drinking games at 8 a.m. Now, I drink coffee. I'm not encouraging you to pour a drink of an alcoholic beverage at this time in the morning. But if you do, I ask you to take a drink every time you heard me say Q or QAnon. So if you're just slap drunk by now, try to focus in. I've got a little over 30 minutes. Kamala Harris, I know a predator when I see one. Cost lives and livelihood. Remember this one thing. The Democrats keep talking about and voter suppression. And if you hear CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, all the above networks and the left-leaning news rags out there, they say Republicans seem not allowing it'll by allowing more people to vote. Mail-in ballots, Republicans upset by allowing more people to vote. And I just want you to remind you, because when I listen to these people talk, the way they write the sentence, by allowing more people to vote, that is garbage, folks. On no day does any Republican want to take an American's right to exercise their vote away from them. No way. We have polling locations. Now, how many days, hours, seconds do we have left before Election Day? Okay. And we have polling stations all across this country, everywhere in this country. There you go. That's how many days, hours, and minutes and seconds before the polls open. But early, okay? They're now begging you to vote early. Get that ballot now. Don't waste any time. Get it back in the mail now. By allowing more people to vote. Now we have Election Day, and every American, okay? Now we have the hours between 7 and 7. Some have 7 and 8. The states can pick their hours. They're supposed to be unified across the country, but you'll have some Secretary of States that does some wacky things, you know. And we moved the hours of voting in this country to whenever we decide it's over, whenever some judge somewhere says it's over, okay? So if it's 7 o'clock and somebody radios in, hey, I got my busload of, Geritol geriatrics here on the bus, and I'm bringing them over now. Give me 10 minutes. Oh, call a judge. We need to stay open. We'll stay open in America to 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Just to make sure you vote, okay? And I'm not going to get into right or wrong. So opening these voting precincts, continuing to drag, they do everything, continuing to drag anybody and everybody in the door to vote. That has switched over. You know, they used to have buses ready. When you had Election Day, when you had an actual absentee ballot system, an absentee, not early voting, not vote by mail, when you had an absentee system in place, and then you had early voting, in-person early voting. Remember, not absentee. You still had to go and push the buttons and vote, but then we went for early voting in place. And then Election Day, we used to have, if getting out the vote 12 years ago, we'll use that number, meant that you went around and you bought every van. No, I'm serious. Democrats would go to rental places and rent, and not that Republicans didn't do it too, okay, but rent every van they possibly could so they can make sure they go through the hood, neighborhood, or upscaled suburban area, but they usually had a Lexus or a BMW to drive themselves. But they would go through everywhere and round up everybody they can and keep hauling them to the polls all day. That is now the mailbox and a mail truck. Yeah, they're freaking out because allowing people to vote. Republicans have never said somebody cannot vote. In America, you can go vote. In America, you can get a ride, okay? Now, you can go to the grocery store. You can go everywhere, Home Depot, grocery store. And what did somebody say yesterday on social media? Put a stimulus check once you vote, you get your stimulus check. I know what that's. Hey, you're paying them to vote. No. But just psychologically, tell them there's a stimulus check at the polling locations and they'll find a way to get there, okay? So now the mail-in ballots, and remember, every time you hear, by allowing more people to vote, that's bull, okay? That's garbage. Now, why is New Jersey? So this guy is a total putz. Let me get this up. Okay, I got a couple of them here on him. Let's see what numbers I have here. Hang tight. Give me number hold tight. We'll do our election night, our convention night quick picks in a minute. Give me number 15. This putz from New Jersey. Trump campaign, RNC sue New Jersey Phil Murphy over executive order for mail-in voting. All right. First of all, every state in the United States has a state constitution, just for some of those that don't know this. There is a United States Constitution, and then every state has their own written constitution. If memory serves me right, every state in the United States, in their state constitution, their legislative body, whatever they have, all right, assemblymen, board of assembly, whatever they have, House of Representatives, Senate, however their governing body is put together in the state, in their state, the House or the legislative body, not the governor, is the only one, according to state constitution, and this in New Jersey, that has the right to change election law or change the way they do their elections. So the New Jersey State House has been pushed out of this decision. And Phil Murphy, the putz of a governor, the Democrat communist governor in New Jersey, all right, has signed an executive order for mail-in voting. Now, what it does is it really, you take the time to research today, what it does is it doubles down on the Patterson corruption scandal there of voting that the president has brought up. See, what they don't like, the president brings things up, okay? And people go search it out. So more people are learning about Patterson, New Jersey. You hear Trump cites Patterson, New Jersey election as example for possible corruption in mail-in ballots. People stay home and say, okay, Patterson, New Jersey election, boom, and they start reading about it. President says Carol Mahoney in New York, they should run that race all over because, that was bad. And they called the race 2 days. They did. I said it would happen on this show immediately. Immediately, I said, Trump brought it up. They'll call this race to get it off the shelf. And they did. And they had like 80,000 ballots in this district in New York that they rejected, mail-in ballots that they rejected. Okay. Signatures, one thing after another. So what did people do? Carol Mahoney, New York election. Boom. They started reading about it. This is the risk the Democrats are taking, and they don't know exactly what to do here, because Trump brings things up. And Trump brings things up, and it's not because of his supporters. It's for the people out there that say, I'm not going to tell my neighbor to the left, and I'm not going to tell my neighbor to the right. I'm not going to tell anybody, but I am going to Google that right quick. I'm kind of interested. Or I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm going to vote for Trump because, the media won't talk about it. CNN, I watch them. They don't talk about this, but there's a lot here. So that being said, this guy wants to duplicate the Paterson, New Jersey election fraud. And why? I mean, blue state, governors blue, right? Both senators, U.S. senators, blue. Now, this is not the time to pick whether you like or dislike the guy. But you got to remember, Chris Christie, under the Republican name, won New Jersey. Not once, twice. Christie won back-to-back terms, right, in New Jersey? Tell me I'm wrong. With a Republican, an R in front of his name. Now, Donald Trump's from New York. They know Trump in Jersey. They don't hate him. Donald Trump has a place in Bedminster, New Jersey. Just say it. Just say it. What are they in fear of? So there is an opinion piece that I would like for you to check out. Let me see if there's anything else I want here to pull up on that. Yeah, go to 14. Trump campaign sues New Jersey. Now, there's an opinion piece that I want to go on because I want to get past this because I want to do another segment. Boom, boom, boom. I had it here. It's the Wall Street Journal. Where is it at? Come on. I had it here a minute ago. There it is. Wall Street Journal. It's an opinion, and it's by Justin Clark. It's August 18th. Just seems like it was just 2 days ago. Trump campaign suing New Jersey. Democratic convention speakers have been peddling the conspiracy theory that President Trump is working to sabotage the U.S. Postal Service. Mr. Trump is working to fix long-standing United States Postal Service problems, and we know that. Long-standing problems, okay? This has got nothing to do with by allowing more people to vote, okay? And the complaints and the distractions from the Democrats' radical proposal for universal vote-by-mail system, which the president has rightly said is riddled with chaos and fraud. New Jersey learned that lesson, and this is true. This is an opinion piece, but New Jersey learned that lesson the hard way with its universal vote-by-mail municipal election in May. It was a disaster from beginning. In Paterson, a handful of fraudsters affected the outcome of the election, and up to a quarter of the votes in some areas were disenfranchised. Governor Phil Murphy calls those results overwhelmingly a success. Now, let me just explain this. Stay with me. Why in New Jersey? What's their concern? All right. Overwhelming. People are Googling this. Last week, with the stroke of a pen, the governor decided to subject New Jersey voters to the same fate in November. Same fate. The Trump campaign filed suit in federal court Tuesday night to invalidate Executive Order 177 on two key grounds. First, Mr. Murphy's appropriated power that belongs to the state legislature. Okay, he cannot do that, violating both election clause and electors clause of the U.S. Constitution. Second, his power grab violates New Jerseyans' 14th Amendment right to vote. Now, here, I'm going to end with this because you can go on and find this Wall Street Journal opinion, or you can read about New Jersey. This is what gets me, is they go to the step of wanting to end in-person voting. Okay? Mr. Murphy's order regulates in-person voting. The most secure method. It is. The most secure method is you go down, You give out your ID, they look, it's you, they register you in, and you go vote on a machine. Okay? To second class status by deeming every ballot cast at the polling place provisional. Citizens who want to vote in person face a real threat of their ballots won't be counted. The governor has quipped that the New Jersey has a highly probable of being hit by lightning that we do uncovering voter fraud. So anyhow, provisional ballot. Your vote in person switches to being a provisional ballot. Now, normally, what is a provisional ballot? You show up, you're at the wrong polling location. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. This is not your polling location. You vote a provisional ballot. If at the end of the night they find out that you didn't go to your accurate polling station and vote, and then come over there and vote, then they'll count your provisional ballot as just going and showing up at your wrong polling location. Provisional ballot 1. I have no ID. I have no record of me whatsoever. I'm not on any rolls. You don't find me there, I'm there somewhere. They can't turn provisional ballot. So the provisional ballots go over in a box. Now, the people that show up, and I don't know about New Jersey, that have identification, your name? There you are. Can you match your address? There you are. Here's your card. Go vote. That's the clear, secure way to identify the voter is who they say they are. They're at the machine. They cast their vote. That person now in New Jersey is considered a provisional ballot. I want to know what they're afraid of across this country. What are they in fear of? Let's take a short break. We're going to come back, and I want to roll through the pictures of last night, the memories left in my mind that I want to share with you. Don't go away.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect, like paint, tools, and equipment.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
I've enjoyed this show so much today. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's online morning show. Let's go. Let's just go through these. I am going to run through some of my clips of the day. Let's start with Emily. I know you ran through the date and the social media. I know that. I'm not looking over here. CNN and MSNBC, which I have watched every minute of the DNC convention, and I will watch Feeble-Minded Joe tonight. I know that's not nice. You don't like it. I understand. And will they be barnstorming across the country? If it's a big bus, Kamala and her white husband could sit in the front. God knows you don't want to make them sit in the back. Just saying. Okay, you in the back. Back. You're VP. Well, I'm also black. It don't matter. Sit in the back of the bus. So Kamala and her white husband could sit in the front, and Joe could sit in the back. And Joe could go down the interstate like this, and see if the trailers when they pass by will honk their horn. And when they do, Joe could clap, Feeble-Minded Joe. And then also what he could do is they could play Punch Buggy. When you see a Volkswagen Bug, well, you can't do that anymore, can you? Remember back in the 70s, let's just call it 1970 something, going down the road, Punch Buggy Blue, boom, right? Joe can get on the bus and play I Spy. Oh, this is just wrong. Let's roll them out here. Number one, Kamala could play I Spy. I Spy a pedophile. Joe, are you back there? This is wrong. Okay. Obama, Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. He's just like a little mean boy. I thought when we met that day in the office, he would grow into the job. Translation is, I thought he would succumb to the deep state. Our great institutions. You know how they keep calling it our great institutions in this country? Trump wants to bring down our great institutions. It's called a corrupt FBI. It's called a corrupt EPA, EPD. It's called the corrupt Department of Education. It's called corrupt. Trump wants to tear down our country's institutions as we know them. Okay. Let's go to number 2, Obama. They fawned over Obama. I'm going to show you this morning. It's kind of bad because Kamala got a couple sidelines on the opening of these shows this morning. Okay. She should be on every show. She should have been on every show. Bam, bam, bam. Maybe she is. She should be doing 30 press events today. Okay. But over here at the lefties of the lefties, Obama, they were just swooning this morning, okay? Number 2, Obama, Trump hasn't grown into the job because he can't. All right, CNN. Number 3, Mall of America, 3 months behind. They're 3 months behind on the mortgage. Mall of America, 3 months behind. Here it is. Where is the Corona hair on fire? See, the convention, there was no convention last week, so they needed Corona hair on fire. Number 4, death tolls top 1,300 as hospitalization starts to decline. It's declining, folks. Now, don't quote me, but the virus could be going away or slowly leaving. Get out of here. Get out of here. Go. Right? They can't do the hair on. Here's one they were waiting on. They were waiting on a positive test. Number 5, okay? First positive test, number 5, first positive test from Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in South Dakota. We knew it would happen. It's got to be a super spreader out there. There are Trump supporters, tattoos everywhere. Guy's got a Trump on his arm. They're waving Trump flags. Number 6, Mall of America, 3 months behind on the mortgage, curbside pickup. All right. Here's number 7. Number 7, Massachusetts to require flu vaccine for children in school. Yeah. There you go. Flu vaccine. Here's one, number 8. Number 8, colleges and universities face mounting challenges. Now, why are colleges and universities facing these mounting challenges? I'll tell you the challenge they're facing is the moms and dads are saying, no. Junior ain't sitting at home on his ass, in his PJs, on a computer, and you're still getting the 30 grand? Hell no. No. You tell me. I mean, I'll give you $1,500. They are in a problem here because tuition. Number 9, Harris accepts historic nomination. Obama repudiates Trump. Number 10, Obama delivers crushing rebuke. Crushing rebuke. So could you see the 4:30 today? Mr. President, last night, former President Barack Hussein Obama delivered a crushing rebuke of your administration. What say you? Want to just throw out Q? All right, here we go. Here is feeble-minded Joe. I know those people over there. Number 11, Obama delivers. There they are. They came out afterwards. And, hey, Sonny, I know you guys. Wave. I'm sorry. That's bad. That's bad. Number 12, White House says Georgia now leads the nation in rate of new cases. I like it when there's a winner. Don't you? Number 12. Hey, if we got to be tops at anything, why not the Rona? Florida, it just went past the 10,000 mark. Number 13. It's like an odometer out there. Corona in Florida, 10,066. Let's see what else I have here on tap. Number 16. Number 16. Hillary Clinton uses 2016 loss. I told you. See what happened? As a cautionary tale. Ask America to vote in November. Please get your ass out and vote. All right. Number 17, Kamala. This is Kamala. Trump's failures of leadership has cost lives and livelihoods. Has it really cost lives and livelihood? What about the, sad to say so directly, what about the poor kid that's home being raped today because they call child services and people aren't answering the phones because they're in quarantine or they're working from home I'm not knocking child services. Let's get this clear, okay? But the system's so screwed up. And then if you do get in touch with child services and think, I'd like to report something bad happening in this home, they are like, well, we don't know if we can come out. We got to get our, we don't know if we can come out because when have you been tested for COVID? Well, no, I'm telling you, there's a rape of a small child going on in this house. Yeah, I understand, but still, when is the last time somebody had a COVID test? Do you have symptoms? What the hell? You people have lost your damn mind out there, Democrats. Okay, number 18, Democrat VP rips into Trump. Constant chaos. Incompetence. Constant chaos. Number 19, Harris makes history as VP. There's number 19. She's history. Number 20, New York Times. Democrats count on Harris to link past with future. There's her and the white guy she's married to. Here's the one I know you're going to say, like, really? Really? Number 21. Here's your daily dose of Hillary. Number 21, Politico. Hillary Clinton warns of Trump trying to sneak or steal his way to a second term. I watched these people last night. There's only so much you can say. Number 22, look at the social distancing. I mean, you got to be proud of these people. They're following the science, okay? Senator Kamala Harris formally accepts. Joe's like, don't I know that girl over there? Who are you, sweetie? Are you my niece? No. Are you sure you're not my sister's kid? No. That's what the conversation is like. Number 23, Senate Intel Committee report details how Kremlin was capable of exploiting Trump's transition team shortcomings. Okay, here you go. Number 24. We only got 4 minutes left. Now, this one, we'll get into this tomorrow. I try to break down elections and what's going on. I've already told you how many times on this show the media will do everything they can to help you in the next so many days believe that there's no chance Republicans will hold the Senate. Now, Pelosi laid that out last night with the White House, the Senate, control of the Senate, and increased numbers in the House, what they can do. That needs to scare the hell out of you, what Nancy Pelosi said. But eventually, they're going to try to chip away to get you to believe, okay? Believe it or not, the John Ossoff and David Perdue race, Governor Brian Kemp has split the Republican Party in Georgia by picking Kelly Loeffler. That happened before Doug Collins decided to run. So the party was being separated at that point when he picked Kelly Loeffler to be the senator, okay? That starts separating the party right there. So we'll go on from that. Now, John Ossoff running against David Perdue is going to be pretty tight. And that's where the Democrats are putting more of their money in the Ossoff race in Georgia than the Biden race. Watch and see. Because Biden against Trump is not the matchup they like, but they like Ossoff up against Perdue. Okay? And they want Biden to just be the benefactor of maybe beating Perdue. I don't know, but watch what's going on. Why Republicans are, when I say that, give me number 24. Is it on the screen? Give me 24. Why Republicans allowing the Democrats to have ridiculous post office hearing on Saturday and Monday just before and during our convention. Let them hold them now during their convention or after the conventions are over. Always playing right into their hands. Senator, hey, listen, they always do. 25. I told somebody the other day, I'll tell you the story later. I told somebody the other day, I said, the thing that I enjoy the most, it really is. There's a lot of things I enjoy the most. I enjoy a good bagel with a schmear. But anyhow, one of the things I enjoy the most is the day that Republicans think the media likes them. I always love that day. It happened last week, and I can elaborate later, okay? Number 25, Hillary Clinton. This can't be another woulda, coulda, shoulda elections. Would have killed Bill if I'd had the chance. Could have killed Bill. Nobody was looking. Should have killed him years ago, and I would be out of jail by now. Oh, that's not the woulda, shoulda, coulda moment? I thought that's what you're talking about. Look at this. Here is Elizabeth Warren and the subliminal message at a daycare. So Elizabeth Warren, the teacher, and she has an Aunt B. We're going to go to Salon. This was hilarious because she invokes an Aunt B. She was ready to quit her job. This is number 26. So I have it on the screen. Number 26. She was ready to quit her job. She was in Texas. She was a young teacher. She had children. And she just broke up one night and called Aunt B. She channeled, not as only she Pocahontas. She has an Aunt B. She goes Andy Griffith. And I called Aunt B and I said, I'm just going to quit. And she said, no, you're not. Next thing I know, Aunt B packed up. This is true. You can watch it. Aunt B packed up 7 pieces of luggage, showed up at my house 4 days later, and stayed 16 years. I don't know. The next thing she's going to tell me is her son's name is Opie. I'm serious. I watched this. Now, so Joe Biden goes to a classroom. Elizabeth Warren goes to a daycare and talks about child care for those young mothers out there. And this is a closed down daycare. Look at the circle. BLM. They put the 3 letters up in the children's box there, activity box, BLM, right? So let me go. Let me get a couple more. I know it's 10 o'clock. They always bring in the angry black woman. I say that. She has an anger about her. I watch her, number 29. Harris, Trump's failures, number 29 this morning. Trump's failures of leadership has cost lives and livelihood. All right. Nancy Pelosi, I don't have time. Number 30, Pelosi says postmaster has plans to restore mail cuts. Won't be in time. Here's number 31. Here's the reporter. I didn't catch her name. Number 31 that asked Trump the question about QAnon yesterday. Number 32, our democracy is at stake. Oh, our democracy is at stake. Obama cast Trump as threat to democracy, number 32. Now, here's what I want you to look at. Number 33, this is Jonathan Lemire with MSNBC. Obama calls Trump threat to democracy. That's not the big deal. It's not a big deal, Jonathan Lemire. You may not be able to see in the corner, but it is 6:19 Eastern time. They come on at 6. This is right almost 20 minutes into it. They did not shut up about Obama all morning long. Number 34, Obama returns to the stage in a fight to save his legacy, New York Times, right? And put up, do me a favor, put up, let me close with this. I know it's 10:02. Put up the old time clock. Put it up, the time clock, okay? There is, until November 3rd, there are 74 days, 14 hours, 57 minutes, and 20 seconds, 19, 18, okay? That's exactly right. You better pay attention, folks. We're breaking it down here. Next week will be the Republican Party celebrating America. Tonight, I will watch them cry in tears, and they won't be of joy, of feeble Joe Biden. He keeps looking at Kamala Harris. Hey, that little girl used to come to my house when you were. No, I didn't. Didn't you live down the street there in Delaware? You didn't live down the street in Delaware? No, my name's Kamala. I'm from Oakland. Yeah, you lived on Oakland Street there in Wilmington. What the hell, right? Feeble-minded Joe. I'm just serious as could be. That's the time clock. Tomorrow is Friday. What does that mean? What does that mean? We will be at Sycamore Crossing in Blue Ridge. That means we will have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley and Dr. Raymond Tidman. Then we will have the all-star political panel, Rick, Bruce, and Jane. The regulars will be right there ready to go. And don't think they're not setting on go, waiting for tomorrow. Then we'll have North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton, the Community Relations Director at Cameron Hall. And we will round it up with our pup of the week, our dog, our pet from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Thank you, Rena, and all of them there. I'm running 10:04. Emily says, what the hell? It's time to get out of here. So let's go.